You could name, probably on one hand, the filmmakers who were really well known to the general public at that time. It was the stars. They went to see the stars. Or maybe it would be a best-selling book, you know, or play, and they went to see that, and it didn't matter so much who the stars were. But directors, writers, cinematographers, no. Special effects artists, impossible, unheard of, until Famous Monsters started making the name Ray Harryhausen a household name in our households.
Ray Harryhausen was a specialist in stop-motion photography and, of course, the building of monsters and so forth. And he worked on the biggest of the science fiction and horror films.
At one time, I came across an article in Argosy magazine on Ray Harryhausen that sort of showed the models he had done for Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and that just like solidified it. You know, here's a guy, he's actually did this sort of thing, and there's the models there, which is kind of what I imagined. So all my imagination on how this was done was there visibly to look at, to see how it was made.
From the early 1950s until his retirement in the 1980s, Ray Harryhausen set the standards for stop-motion animation effects in film. No one working in science fiction or special effects films today escapes the Harryhausen influence, drawing upon the techniques he perfected in creating his own special kind of cinema magic.
Ray is a man who has inspired so many of us, if not everyone who is in this genre of film, who works in the genre of film of science fiction, fantasy, and horror, and creating phenomenal characters, fantastic characters.
Who are your favorites of his characters?
All of them. His characters acted. And when people talk to me about what I don't do effects. I'm not a technician, I'm an artist, and I create characters. And that's what Ray Harryhausen did.
We wouldn't miss this for anything.
No, no. All our sons of Harryhausen are here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Only 10,000 of them.
Look, there's Forey. How are you, Forey? Rick Baker. That's me.
It's Ray. He is the spiritual father of so much of what we do in the movies nowadays, and inspired so many people into this business, myself included, with his wonderful storytelling.
Which was the first of his pictures that grabbed you, that you fell in love with, that got you going?
For me, it's a total toss-up between Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts. It's like, okay, what flavor of ice cream do I like better? Tom Hanks told me he saw Jason and the Argonauts when he was a kid, and that's what made him want to be an actor.
Some people say Casablanca or Citizen Kane. I say Jason and the Argonauts is the greatest film ever made.
Most people don't know who Ray Harryhausen is, but everybody remembers the scene where the Roman guy is fighting the, actually he's Greek, is fighting the skeletons. Everybody knows that scene, no matter what. They don't know where, even if they don't know what movie it came from, they know that. And that was Jason the Argonauts that really, as a kid, that was probably one of my favorite movie.
The first film on which Ray Harryhausen had complete control of the special effects was The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms back in 1953. It was based on a story published in the Saturday Evening Post by a young writer named Ray Bradbury.
In 1938, just out of high school, Ray Harryhausen came into my life. I went to visit his garage where he built an animated prehistoric beast on 16mm film. Good Lord, what a friend to have. Someone just as crazy as I was about primeval monsters and how to get them into theaters and keep them there forever. We made a pact promising to grow old but never grow up, and keep the pterodactyl and the Tyrannosaurus Rex forever in our hearts. And lo, it happened.
Ray Bradbury's here, so come on.
Oh, brother Bradbury! I'm delighted, of course, that our pictures have left such a positive thing. When I go to these conventions, I find a family of 3 generations come up and say, your pictures made my childhood. And 2 professors in Canada, they wrote me and said that if it wasn't for 1 million BC and Guanji, they would not be paleontologists. So our films have opened new fields and professions and made families happy, and I'm delighted that that's the way it happened. Because they were only intended for entertainment. We wanted to make the hero and the villain, and not make anti-heroes.
This morning we pay tribute to one of the greatest stop-motion animators in motion picture history. Today we will place a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for Ray Harryhausen. Ray Harryhausen consumed his first taste of movie magic when as a young boy he saw King Kong at Grauman's Chinese Theater.
It's certainly a pleasure to be here and be part of this wonderful Hollywood